Today I wanted to give my 2 cents on something that I figured out recently. And sorry if I sound a bit like stuffed up, but that's because I am. So I hope you don't mind the audio recording being a little scuffed because of the fact that my nose is like clogged. But anyways, speaking of clogged, have you seen these, what's going on in Minnesota? Like the fraud, like all the money that's being embezzled to these like weird companies. And like they're just taking millions and millions of dollars worth of taxpayer funds for daycare, learning centers, and health care centers, quote unquote. It's very, very fishy, but it's been going on for actually a long time, I want to say. Now, we've all known that the federal government likes to hide things. This kind of their tried and true art form, because they've been doing it for decades upon decades. All the way back in the days of MK Ultra, the crack epidemic. Yeah, the government has always been very fond of hiding things from the U.S. people. But the fact that we just sit around and willingly let it continue to happen while still thinking that somehow the government has no play in this is just ridiculous to think. That's why I'm so just like, you know what? I don't even think that this is not happening. I feel like it is happening because of the fact that the government has hidden things from us for basically ever. So for something like this to be happening is like really no shocker to me. And it makes me sad to say that because we should actually be trusting our government to do the right thing. But in reality, we just can't. We can't trust them to do the right thing because they end up always doing the wrong thing for some reason, either due to incompetence or on purpose. Like the FBI and them loving to look into things that benefits their political, their political bias, while not looking at the things that denies their political bias. It's kind of ridiculous when you think about it, because again, this should not be happening, but it does. And I'll get in my 2 cents of why I think it is happening. Now, I'm about to put on my tinfoil hat here and go full on conspiracy theory about this. Okay, why this is happening? Number one, because the government is benefiting from it. That's already my first thing. Because why would the government let it happen if it negatively affected them? The U.S. people, we all know that immigrants provide a lot for the country. They provide a lot of labor and economics, but that's because of the fact that they get paid next to nothing. So they don't really put that much back into taxes. So it's basically free labor. So shit gets done without having to put shit in. Because that's how a business works. You gotta put stuff in to get stuff out. But if you get a lot of stuff out without having to put too much in, that's a shit ton of profit. And these businesses would rather pay someone like less than a livable wage than have to pay an American citizen a livable wage. Like, yeah, why would they pay someone $16 an hour when they can pay someone $8 an hour to get the same exact production? So that's number one. It benefits the government. Number two, and what I think is probably the better reasoning, that this is a takeover. Because these Somalian people, many of them already show their disapproval of America. I told Faith this a bunch. A good bit of these people, they don't like America. You can literally see it on the news. They don't like the president. They don't like the people. They don't like the people who call them out for their dog shit, or who even calls out a small portion of their community. It's just like the black community. If you point out the bad apples in the community, they all get mad and think you're judging the entirety of the community, which is a blatant lie. I'm not saying that all black people are bad, but the amount of crime them are committing is disproportionately committing is ridiculous and should be stopped, because all it does is make us look bad. They should be saying the exact same thing to the Somalians. They should be saying the same thing to their own people. And for them to just sit around and say that it isn't happening, God forbid, That's worse than saying it is happening, because now you're lying to me. If you say that it is happening, okay, well, at least we can get on a page. I think they would feel like there's something in you that allows both of us to want to have a shared goal of wanting to get rid of it. But if you tell me that it isn't happening, okay, now you want to hide it. You're basically in with them. It's like, bro, for them to sit around and call us crazy for pointing this out, it's right there in the papers. You see the video, it's right there on the papers. And then they go to these places, you don't hear no children running around. They say there should be 100 kids. It's the middle of a work week. It's the middle of a work day. There should be a shit ton of kids there. If there's 101, you don't hear not a single kid. You can't even look into the building. There's no playground area for some of them. It's like they won't even at least hand them out like a form or a business card of any sorts. Like, it's just weird, and they're all somehow just with him. And that's not only for the daycare. Many people, I've seen people make excuses. I've seen some crazy people on the internet run excuses for these people, and they say, oh, well, maybe because of the fact that they have a camera and they're walking up to a place with a bunch of children. Well, I don't know. Again, you would hear the kids, right? These are like 3, 4, 5-year-olds. You would definitely hear them yelling and screaming in the middle of the day, because, well, that's what kids do. I've been to daycares multiple times. I've been to daycares growing up. My little brother's been to daycares, so I know how daycares are, and I know what the general, like, the general environment of a daycare, and it definitely does not sound nor look like that, with the windows all blacked out. There's no playground area at all, and that doesn't even excuse the healthcare places. No, that's even worse. The healthcare places are even worse because of the fact that they won't even let bro in. They won't let him in. If you go nearby, if you go to the places, they literally have don't trespassing on the sign. Dog. It's like, your healthcare place, there should be people flowing in and out. What are you talking about trespassing? And they're not closed. So, like, what's really going on here? And not only that, again, it is 14 different companies who are all selling the same product in the same building. Yeah, that logically makes no sense. Like, no sense at all. There's obviously something going on here. Obviously, all those companies are working together, but why are they all giving out the same product? But when people go there to ask, hey yo, are you like selling insurance? They're like, no, we're not selling any insurance. In the same way with the daycares, he walked around and he asked folks, hey, how long have you been living here? He's like 7 years, and he's like, okay, have you seen like people walk in and out of that building, like kids go in and out? And he's like, and he generally walks by that area a good bit, but he never seen kids go in and out. He's generally only seen people standing outside of the building, which again is crazy because of the fact that it is a daycare that is open 7 days a week from 10 to 10. So you should definitely be seeing people coming in and out, people coming to pick up their kids, people coming to drop off their kids. Like, what's really going on here? You know, what's really going on? And it's extremely obvious. Now, I think that these places need to be thoroughly looked into by the government. The government sitting around saying that this fraud doesn't exist, or as seen from the video, that the fraud is the Republicans' fault. Quote unquote, everything is always someone else's fault. I was just reading Animal Farm last night, and we read to the chapter where Napoleon sends his dogs after Snowball, and then Snowball gets chased away, and then all of a sudden they were saying that it was actually Napoleon's idea to been windmill, when actually it was Snowball's idea. They just took it from him. But they also, when it was shown that when like tragedy strikes, it's always someone else's fault rather than Napoleon's fault. And that reminded me very close of home. How everyone always want to say it's everyone else's fault, but never their own fault, which is fucking ridiculous in my eyes. That is crazy. How people sit there and like tell bull-faced lies with no consequences whatsoever. Like Governor Tim Walz has been giving money to these companies for years and years and years, just millions and millions of dollars, and no one seems to care. And finally, there are people who are looking into it and they're trying to run away. Look at the Minnesota flag. The Minnesota flag has changed to look very similar to the Somalian flag. If this isn't a takeover, then I don't know what is. Like, when are people gonna eventually start opening their eyes and seeing that these places are not compatible? Look at the goddamn Somalian, like how often scams and stuff happen out there. Like, you know what? I'm gonna show you guys. So we're gonna look here of an example of an actually active daycare. This is the daycare I went to back when I was younger. I'm probably not in that photo. I don't remember that. Sure. But look, December 18th. Look, see, they got a Christmas event. They have a Facebook page. So they got photos. December 18th. Let's see, a little bit earlier in the year. October 23rd. October 10th. Oh man, I remember that story. I haven't been back to Louisiana in a long time. Still, see, they're actively like doing stuff. And then also we can go here. Then we go here. Look at this. On the outside, it looks like a daycare center. Look at it. See, the windows aren't tinted. They're actually open and lit up. You can see a playground right here. They got cars here generally on weekdays. Like in the early mornings, especially when I was going to school and whatnot, there would be people dropping off their kids. Yeah, you could easily know. Yeah, that is a daycare. You got a phone number. You can call if need be. They also got a phone. The phone number is also a fax number. It's like there was tangible proof. The place has a review, and that's one review. Still, it has tangible. It has more reviews on Facebook, but again, there's tangible proof that this place exists. And then you look at something like this place, which is Sweet Angel Childcare in Minnesota. Look at this. One review. Okay, it's whatever. Other places have. But look, look how this place is. Like, I want you to tell me, 360 Street View, that this is the child care center. Look at their door. They have a wooden door. You can't see inside the building at all. It looks dingy as fuck. There's no playground in sight. It's in the middle of a fucking strip mall, for God's sakes. So there's no area for the kids to play at. And not only that, look at this. This is the phone number on the Google site. But then you scroll down here. The daycare detector, which they don't even have their own app, by the way. And this is their phone number. Two completely different numbers. So which one's the real number? You have to call it figure out. Again, notice how the other place has some social media. They had a Facebook page. This place does not have a Facebook page. They have nothing. They have nothing. They're all on like these daycare.com sites. The maximum capacity is 75. Call for info, call for info, call for info. You have to contact them for everything. And they're not even a verified business. This listing has not been claimed or verified to be accurate. So it's like there's not really any proof that this place exists. There's not really any. It's like not verified. It's kind of crazy. All things considered. I'll do it now. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like, it's extremely obvious what's going on here. Look at this. We're gonna go to the country scam. Or actually, we're gonna search up what is the country with the most scams. A single country with the most scams. A hotspot for fraud. Top 10 fraud countries. Countries with the highest fraud rate. Top 10 countries with the most fraud. We got India, Brazil, Pakistan, South Africa, Morocco, Romania, Nigeria, Venezuela, China, and the Philippines. So many of these countries are from South. Everybody knows that Africa is fucking horrible when it comes to crime, when it comes to scams, especially. Let's look up how often is Somalia. How often is it to be scammed in Somalia? Scams in Somalia are very common and widespread. Look at the source. Organized Crime Index, Somalia. Let's see. Criminality report. It has a population of 19 million. Somalia is a key source of transit company for human trafficking with criminal networks, including armed groups exploiting instability and weak governance. Al-Shabaab, a dominant actor, engages in recruiting child soldiers, forced labor, and sexual slavery, leveraging the government's limited territorial control. Corruption among state-embedded actors exacerbates trafficking. Victims are trafficked to Europe, the Gulf states, and South Africa, forced labor and sexual exploitation, often transported through Djibouti and Ethiopia. Internally displaced persons are ethnic minorities facing large marriages and labor exploitations. The anticipation security vacuum is all the withdrawal of the African Union. Huge in arms trafficking. That's many countries in Africa. Crime, despite illegal charcoal trading, having declined over the years. Other things, smuggling, armed groups. Revenue sources, armed people, smuggling networks, artisan gold, mountains. That's significant. Cannabis is sold everywhere. Criminal attacks, cyber-dependent criminal attacks in Somalia are relatively limited. No incidents occurred. Yeah, because they don't really have that much infrastructure. Financial crimes in Somalia are widespread, affecting both public and private sectors. Common offenses include embezzlement, fraud, tax evasion, and misuse of public funds. I want to just highlight this right here. So, it is very common in Somalia for fraud to happen. So then when these people come from Somalia to the US, gain positions of power, and then all of a sudden you see the same exact thing playing out. Maybe it's time to sit back and say that maybe cultures just don't mix, you know? Maybe we shouldn't mix cultures. I don't know. It's just crazy. Sometimes it's just not okay. Because this place, people who live here, they have nothing but just embezzlement, fraud, tax evasion, and public funds being misused. And then we go here, and then we look at all these places, these daycare centers and healthcare centers that look sketchy as fuck, are all run by Somalians. All of them are ran by Somalians. And they get millions and millions and millions of dollars, but no one actually going to those places to actually like get funds and get seen for like healthcare and whatnot. People walk around daily. They never see anybody going in and out. No kids going in and out. You go to try to get a business card, some sort of application form, nothing. You try to look at their website. They don't have a website. They don't have any sort of social media. Y'all. And this place has been in business for over 3 years, and you don't have no type of social media. I don't know. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and looks like a duck, it's probably a duck. I don't know. It's probably a duck, y'all. But I don't know. Maybe I'm the crazy one, Maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe these places are real and they are actually like caring for children. But they're not making it easy for us to, show that. And again, I want to emphasize that the government is just letting it happen. The police Somalians, not all of them, alright, I want to just get that out the way. Not every single Somalian, because a lot of people are going to misconstrue that. I think I'm saying every single Somalian is bad. No, the folks running these companies are bad because of the fact that they are doing this, and the government is just letting it happen. They've just been letting it happen for decades, even though their country, these people should be looked at with extra scrutiny because of the fact that their country is so rampant and like scamming, embezzlement, funds being misused. Like, it's just commonplace in their country for that to happen. So who's to say that it's not happening here? Who can say that? And again, it's even easier for that to happen because of the fact that they sit around and they say, oh, you just don't like all Somalians. Oh, you're just a racist. Oh, you just don't like black people. Oh, President Trump just doesn't like black. Listen, I have no trust in President Trump. President Trump has been a failure this year, alright? But a broken clock is right twice a day. There is something more going on here that they're not letting on. And for the government to just sit back and let it happen, it's ridiculous because there's been proven that there has been scams going on. You guys heard of the place that got raided by the FBI? Yeah. If they were able to capture one place, who say that there aren't 10, 20, 30 other places, not just in Minnesota, but all over the US where this is happening. Who knows? Every single last one of these states' government should look into where these funds are going and are these businesses legitimate. Because for the fact that it took him a couple of months to figure this stuff out, it's ridiculous when the government should have then figured it out before it ever got to that point. But that's just my 2 cents. Comment on the video, like it, subscribe to this channel. It's me and my wife's channel. I post more of this type of content while she posts more short form content. And I'll see you next time I post another video. So yeah.